Hey, how's it going? We're here talking about the pilot car industry. We're pilot car content, so if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. I'm an 8-year veteran in the industry. I, however, no longer drive. I have 5 vehicles with 5 drivers, and so I have a full pilot car company now. But I do what I do. I do what I can to help those who are trying to get into the industry actually get in and be successful. So let's get into it. The pilot car industry, great industry. It's a great earning potential, low overhead. You can be your own boss, work when you want to. However, you do want to make yourself available. It's not something that you can do as a side hustle. I do say that because once you get yourself going and you start getting calls for work and for jobs, you do want to accept those jobs, as many jobs as you can, because once you stop or accepting those jobs, they'll stop calling. So let's break down what is a pilot car driver. When you see those big trucks on the road with the big oversized load signs on them, usually they have a vehicle in front of it and a vehicle in back of it. Those two vehicles are pilot cars, vehicle escorts. What those cars do, they just basically help that truck driver and that truck get from point A to point B. You're just basically an extra pair of eyes and ears for that truck driver to help them see the road and pretty much get them to where they're going with no hazards. It's very easy work. There's no labor involved. All you're doing is communicating with that truck driver via CB radio. What you do is meet that driver where he's getting loaded at. However, you have nothing to do with him getting loaded. Like I say, there's no labor involved in this. Meet him where he's getting loaded at. He gets loaded, get his permits. You guys get on the road. You escort him all the way to where he's going, whether that's in state, around the corner, or it could be 5, 6, 7 states over. You get him to where he's going. Once he gets there, he signs the paperwork and you're on to your next job or you're on back home. Now let's be clear. This isn't your regular job. This isn't a job per se. You do have some companies out there that are hire pilot car drivers and pay them by the hour, pay them by the mile. But for the most part, most people that get into this industry, they get in as an independent driver. As an independent driver, you're basically creating a job for yourself. So you got some that want to go as far as I have and get other cars out there, get vehicles out there and vehicles driving for their company. And then you got some who want to get out there and be a solo independent driver, and that's totally fine. So when you do that, you're basically creating a job for yourself that you can work when you want to. Now this is all 1099 work. Therefore, there is no taxes being withheld. So you want to factor that in when you're doing your overhead and you're preparing for the end of the year. Your main overhead in this, however, when I said before at the beginning, is low overhead, because you're only really worried about your fuel repairs here and there, which come sparingly. With that being said, do you need to set up a business structure? Being a pilot car driver or being an independent driver? No, you do not. You can do this under a DBA, or you can just do it under your name. When you file taxes at the end of the year, you can file it under your own name, under your social security number, and you'll be totally fine. You do not have to set up a business structure to be an independent driver out here in the pilot car industry. Now, when you work or when you're in business, the main thing is getting paid. And out here, it's important to know that you get paid for the most part only when you're up under the load. And what that means is when you're picking him up from point A and you're actually going to point B, that's when you're getting paid. There's some instances where you'll get paid a small amount to go back to the starting point and do it again if that is the situation. Most of these loads are one way. It's also important to know the rates, the going rates out here, because if you don't charge enough, companies will look at you as if you're inexperienced and you don't know what you're doing, and they'll write you off, while at the same time you're thinking you're doing a good thing because you're trying to undercut the going rate, or you're just shooting the price out there and don't really know what's going on. It's very important to know the going rates out here. It's also important to know what to charge based on the position that you're actually working on the specific job. I also want to point out for you beginners that you don't want to work for any and everybody as well. Some companies out there are going to take 30 days, 40 days, 60 days to pay you. You got some companies out there that won't pay you at all if they can get away with it. So you want to be careful of who you work for, who you take jobs for. Now, to physically be ready to go, you want to start off by getting your vehicle together, finding out what vehicle will work for you, and getting that vehicle outfitted with the necessary equipment that'll have you compliant to do your job. Now, there's equipment that you're going to need in order to do this job and also be compliant, and I'll cover that in another video that you can check out. But you want to get your truck or your car outfitted with the necessary equipment, and you also want to get certified. You got to take a certification class in order to be certified to do this job and work in this industry. Now, certification class is easy. It's a one-day process. There's two main companies that offer this class, and you got a couple companies out there that offer courses or offer a certification class, and the certification class doesn't cover every state like the main two do, but you're gonna have to get certified. There's also a couple states that will require you to get a defensive driving course in their state. You can take it online, but it's specific to their state. They're gonna require that. You got a couple states as well that require amber light permits to drive through their states, and an oversized load permit as well. That's just a couple states, so don't get overwhelmed by that, or don't get worried by that. That's very small. The fee is small as well, so don't get caught up in that. $12 or $13, I think $15 for a permit, amber light permit. Like I say, it's not a big fee, so don't worry about that. Commercial liability insurance, you're gonna have to get that in place. A lot of companies will request your documents when they sign you up for a job, so you want to have all your ducks in a row. At the end of the day, like I said, it's a great industry. I want you to do one thing for me. Tell me why you stopped by. Drop in the comments. Tell me why you stopped by today. Also, go ahead and like this if I gave you the information that you came here looking for. Like it, share it. If you're interested in more information and you want to set up a phone call with me, I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Follow the link, the pilotboy.life link at the bottom, or you can just go to pilotboy.life in your browser, click that, and we can set up a call from there. But be sure to subscribe for notifications. I'm dropping content every week. You want to be notified as soon as I drop that content, so you can log on and see what's new. Also, you guys can drop in the comments and let me know what other subjects or topics, information that you guys want me to speak on as it pertains to this industry. Let me know that, and I'll make a video based on that as well. Other than that, see you guys on the next video.